What is up, everybody? And thank you because you have just tuned in to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. I'm your host, Mr. James John, and we are your nightcap of comedy. It is Real Laughs. As always, I am joined in virtual studio with my good friend, my brother from another mother, Miguel Colon. Don't you forget about the junior because he knows who his daddy is. We're going to get to what he's been up to in just a second. But we also have a very special guest, a fellow comedian that I used to work with in an office. We'll talk about that later, too. And she has a brand new project. She wrote a sitcom. That's what we're going to give it up because it's very funny, very famous, if you will. Miss Patti Hope has joined us on Real Last. Patti, what's going on, girl?
Hey, really doing great. Thanks, you guys. Happy to be here.
Oh, I'm glad you're here with us. Now, I just want to talk about the fact that you actually did something that a lot of us talk about doing. You wrote a sitcom. Like many comedians have many ideas what'll make a great sitcom, what'll be funny, but you took the time, you took the patience, and you actually put it on paper and did it.
Well, I thought it was required for all comedians.
Yes. You got to have a podcast and a sitcom. That's how you comedify. That's how you do stuff around here. But you actually did it. And I want to talk a little bit about it because you have some fellow comedians in it that we all know and love in the Orlando area, or Central Florida, if you will. But what made a person say, you know what, I'm going to actually write a sitcom? How did it all start for you? What was the brainchild?
I lost my husband and moved back to Florida and started an Airbnb. And there's
I remember that.
Many funny things that come out of that. And so I thought this would make a great sitcom, of course. And then I did a TED Talk during COVID, not a TikTok, a TED Talk about this whole topic of, creating a new life with my Airbnb, which is really what happened. It was a big change. And
well, let me just ask this question though. What would make you say I'm going to start an Airbnb? Like, did you work in the hospitality industry before that, or you just like, you know what? I love strangers staying on my property.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, people paying me to sleep with them. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. Wow.
Oh, Patty's a lot lizard. Patty's a lot lizard.
It was an easy move. No, I just liked the whole, format, the whole idea. It's like hostling. I did a lot of hostling when I was younger, hiking outdoorsy kind
Every
of
day I'm hosteling.
Right.
Love it.
So I liked it. And I needed the money. My husband passed. I lost the second.
You know how many movies have been made because of that statement? I needed the money.
Right. Bottom line. Yeah.
I needed. But that's awesome because that's something I've never done. And I think Miguel's done this. I've never stayed at a hostel. Like the idea of that makes me a little anxious, a little nervous.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody.
You're too old now. We're aged out. You're aged out.
Am I too old? Like, is that how it works?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh my God, man.
No.
We don't do.
Old people can
a hostel.
Yeah,
we do not hostel. When you're our age, we hotel. We enjoy life. We don't share a bathroom with some Swedish backpackers. When I was 20, I hosteled Europe a bunch of times. And it was because, that was I was in a mindset where I was like, cool, man. I could barracks life it. I could dorm life it.
Yeah.
But now, man, I'm 44 years old. That's my pooper. Nobody else's dookie butt is going on that toilet unless you're immediate family, unless we have a relationship. But I'm not going to take a shower in your hot dookie room after you got done. I'm a man.
No.
I got monies, man. I can take care of it. In my 20s, though, hey, I hosteled through Europe a bunch of times. One time when we were in Krakow, and I remember it was us and a bunch of these Russian dudes, and we were eyeballing each other the whole time. And me and my boys were like, "Yo, I don't know if it's gonna go down between us and these Russian dudes. They do not like us." And then I remember a dude came up to me and he was like, everyone else in this hostel is soft. We could take over. And I was like, my God, we've been talking about this for years, guys. Because it was just a bunch of like backpacking hippies and us. And I was like, bro, hey, listen, man, I'm team red on this one. Let's do it. Hey, let's do it. Let's do what we should have done in the Let's do what we should have done in the 80s, baby. Let's carve this world up.
So Patti, you definitely you were used to that kind of lifestyle because you used to do hosteling over.
Patty's a hippie, man. I just realized.
I have to say, I used to share spaces, in my house with the bathroom, situation, one bathroom. But after COVID, that whole thing changed. Everything changed about that. So I would rent out the entire space after COVID.
Okay, so after you got into
experience.
I would say, like, after you got into actually doing an Airbnb, what was the first thing that you found out doing that kind of thing that you did not expect? Like, oh,
People will
I didn't-
find the hidden cameras. You got to try harder.
You know,
Staring at me in the bathroom. Was I got a camera?
actually, it was something more wonderful. I discovered how much I loved it. Like, a lot of people just came and stayed and left. You know, there was no interaction or very minimal, but a lot of people were really in transitions in their life. And I ended up playing all these different roles as like bartender and, you know, host and, you know, taxi driver and all the different things that they needed.
Oh, role playing is a part of
yeah,
it. Is that extra?
right.
Does that come with it? Like, what do you?
Excuse
Is there
me.
a safe word?
It was totally up to them. I would let the guests decide how much they wanted to interact with me or not. And I would do a
Gotcha.
Sunday supper every week. I'd have a Sunday supper out on the patio with my neighbors, and they could meet the guests. And if they wanted to join and bring a dish, great. If not, you know, that was fine too. So I was amazed at, you know, it made me hopeful. It gave me real positive. And I made, you know, lifelong friends from it too. People who came and I met through the Airbnb and then moved here and became, you know, great
I imagine Patty being like Mrs. Garrett from The Facts of Life when people are standing there. She's like,
Exactly.
girls, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't smoke the wacky tobacco. Yeah.
Oh, well, no, we didn't have those. We were 420 friendly.
Yeah, you gotta be, man. If it's
progressive,
masculine,
that.
man, there's like a list. There's like a small list of drugs you can't do in a hostel. You're like, hey, no hard drugs, nothing that gets sold in Baltimore, nothing. Yeah, nothing you need, nothing that there's wars over. But if you can pick it from cow poop or from the ground, it's good to go.
It's natural, right?
There was a lot of heartbreak. There was a lot of heartbreak too. I talk about that in my TED talk.
How so?
Well, there was one couple who was staying because their house was damaged during the hurricane, their apartment, and so their landlord kicked everybody out, and they needed a place to stay for several weeks. And one of the guests was the wife was addicted to painkillers, and she was a mess. And you know, in the middle of the night, she'd be crying out in the living room, and there was a number of sad stories.
Yeah, she's like, hey guys, I don't want to bring this up, but I know we had copper in these walls. I don't want to bring this up.
I had some damage. The cops were called a number of times. I didn't go into too much detail in the TED talk about that, but yeah.
Y'all see an AC compressor?
There was
anywhere?
the dark side. You see the bright side and the dark side of humanity when you open your home to strangers.
Well, that's okay. That's a question that I have for you because I understand how Airbnb work, but there's a lot of trust involved, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
How do you prepare yourself for like, okay, I'm going to invite strangers in, they're going to pay me money, but they're going to be living within my household. What do you do? Like, how do you get your mind ready for that and what's involved?
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, you know, you have your stuff locked away. You know, you do certain things.
It's like having a crackhead, like family member in your house. You got to lock everything down.
Yeah, you can't be stupid. But you know, at the same time, I feel very strongly that most human beings are good people. You know, and so when the bad ones come along, they're a much smaller percentage. Mm-hmm. I'm like, bring it on. Just try. You know?
Got it. I like that. I like the fighting spirit you got. I like the aggression. I like that.
Yeah.
So fast forward, you live in this lifestyle. You're like, man, this is interesting. I need to write it down as a sitcom. What was your aim? What was the goal to let people know through your sitcom about that life?
So I am an addict of sitcoms. I mean, that's what I do as an old lady now. I sit and watch, you know, all the TV classics.
Just you and the cats.
Me and the kitty cats doing the sitcoms.
Watching the sitcom.
At least I watch soap operas. I mean, at least it's, you know, it's
Mr. Whiskers. I love it.
I write it off as, you know, the business expense because I'm studying comedy, right? So
talking about when America was a country full of Americans.
Yeah. And so, and this is the traditional sitcom, the laugh track
and everything like that,
and which is going away. It's going the way of the
single camera, no laugh,
standalone digital, alarm clock. That's where we're going with sitcoms. They're going away. But
You're
so
right.
this is sort of an homage to that and my love of sitcoms. But it's also, it has a Love Boat aspect to it in that it features local talent, and each episode there's new guests. So, and they're featured in it. They're not just passing through like Bob Newhart had his guest in the guest house in New England, and the guests weren't really part of this series. So we have the ensemble cast of amazing local talent, and then we have these changing guests, or maybe there'll be recurring guests too that we want to feature local talent. Yeah.
Gotcha. Now, before we get into the bones and the meat of the project itself, what is your hope for the project itself? I know you're having a screening coming up in Mount Dora soon, but ultimately, what's the goal?
So it would be wonderful if we could continue to produce it locally and find a backer who could help us do that. That's my goal, is to have it continue to be something we can do here. And
couple suggestions. NC-17 rating. That makes it spicy.
NC-17
is spicy because nobody really knows. You know when you hear NC-17, you're like, there's gonna be some nipples. There's gonna be some nipples and some full frontal.
I'm a full-blown prude, when it comes to this stuff, but I'm amazed at how much, that stuff is. It's all sexual innuendo.
Patty, you want this thing to fly? It needs an NC-17 rating.
All right.
We need lots of gender swapping roles.
The
fire chief needs to be a non-binary midget.
Well, no, the handy trans is.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's hot, man. Load it up with Decepticons.
Oh my God. What did you just call the trans community?
Decepticons, man.
Decepticons. Oh no.
Oh my God.
You're like, hey, wait a second. Let me see a baby picture of you, girl. Blue. You got me.
We gotta
finish
see a
up
gender reveal video nowadays. That's funny.
Finish up and we'll be friends.
Okay. Okay, Patty. Now, Patty, what is it going to be lighthearted like the sitcoms we grew up with back in the day, like a Full House?
It has a fun romp aspect to it, but then there's also sort of the bittersweet, aspect of her being, a widow and going through that transition and, finding her way.
It's a transition for you as well. Like not only the people coming through that may be going through something in their life and they're trying to find their way, but also for you losing a husband and then kind of opening your home up to all these new people. So it was experience for you as well.
Right. And so that's how we structured it. It's loosely based on my story. Her husband was a professor. My husband was not. And she moves to Florida to do this Airbnb for her aunt, who is a really fun character, sort of like a Lucille Ball kind of character.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
But very loose sexually. Yeah. And so, there's the ensemble cast is fun. We have a Jamaican neighbor. We have a MAGA neighbor. Jesse Chudeusz plays Jeb, our MAGA neighbor. He's awesome in his role. And
that's real Florida. Like everything you're saying is stuff that we experience every single day. That's real Florida right there. Like
and that's the other thing. We're basing it in a tourist town in Florida, so it has all that going on as well.
So
Eddie, season like 5, right? You done so well, but then they want to jump the shark and add some new crazy stuff in. I'm saying introduce your husband's ghost.
I like that. I've thought of that. He shows up in memory sequences now, but I like that.
But full on, just full on ghost husband. And then I'm going back to that NC-17, baby, Jamaican neighbor, full frontal.
Oh God,
my girl, didn't know you were swinging it around. Yeah,
I love it.
All right. Now, Patty, what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a short break. When we get back, I want you to tell me not only about the cast, but we're going to jump into the actual summary and tell me a little bit about what people can expect.
What's the name of the show, though? Hold up.
It's called Here's Hope.
Here's Hope.
Yes. Which is a lovely play on your name, by the way. I can't wait to get into this. So people, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with our guest, Patti Hope, right here on Real Radio 104.1. Are back. Thank you guys for sticking with us. You're still listening to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. I'm still your host, Mr. James John. Join the studio, Mr. Miguel Colon Jr. Don't forget the Junior. He knows who his daddy is. We got creator, comedian Patti Hope with us talking about her new project. That's right. And we got the director of said project, Mr. JC. Thanks for joining us, brother. Appreciate you. How you doing?
I'm fantastic, man. Even not feeling 100% today, I said, this is important. It's all about connecting and letting them know how powerful the story this is, and putting that heart in. That's
okay. Nice. Well, Patti, tell me a little bit how you met JC and how he got involved with the project, with the sitcom itself.
Backpage.
Backpage. Yeah, like I'm young, Miguel.
Oh, okay. Yes.
There you go, Patti. Hey, girl, you better watch out. You better watch out,
No,
Patty.
he's a happy,
So
very
we
happily
also just
married
mentioned
man.
that my
with
wife
two
is
children.
our
Yeah.
co-creator alongside.
And
Oh,
he's one of the writers. He's one of the
Damn,
writers.
y'all get freaky in this Airbnb.
No. That ain't happening. I met him through a friend. You know, I've been talking about this for a number of years, probably, James, as you know, this idea.
Yes.
And so,
yes.
you know, it was this whole evolution of what do I do next? And I don't know how to do this. And, you know, learned how to write a script, learned how to do all that, taught myself. And then we ran into each other. He happens to live in my town, Mount Dora.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, this is the perfect fit. And he read my script and he said, I love it. So that's what happened.
Very nice. Well, let me ask you this, Patty. What if the one thing you've learned when going from comedian with the idea for sitcom to actual showrunner and person that's writing and producing it, what have you learned in that process that you would tell any creator out there that's thinking about doing the same thing?
Stick with it, network, talk to people. That was the biggest thing. I did it all wrong initially. I started talking to people who I wanted to be in the cast initially.
Okay.
You know,
Before
I
you
wrote
had
the script
anything.
before I
Okay.
had any way to produce it. And so I just stopped and I said, wait. And I joined the Women in Film and Television and Film Florida. And I went to workshops and, you know, they have movie festivals all over the state.
They sure do.
And
Yeah.
I pitched it at various festivals. They gave me great advice and I got a lot. I sent it off to a couple of festivals and didn't win any awards, but I got some great feedback from industry professionals. So
Please stop sending this.
yeah.
Tell you want to get this thing made, Patty, man. You learn a little Yiddish. That's it, baby. You learn a little Yiddish. You can hang out, right? You hang out, man. Pitch it. You're like, Emmy, listen to me, Bubby. And they're like, I like this one.
There you go. Patty, are you against changing your last name to Hope Steen? I mean, can we do that?
I can change. I can be whatever I need to be. Yeah.
Gotcha. So,
or you go
JC,
Nollywood, Patty. You pitch it. You pitch it to like African directors.
Hey, I'm
Patti,
open.
I love this show you have created, Patti. One quick question. I feel there should be a 14-year-old general in it. You know?
Yes,
we have a Jamaican neighbor, and she's wonderful.
Not the same thing, Patty. Wow.
Well, I'm just saying we could go there. Maybe Jamaica has a market for it.
I'm telling you, man, this whole thing is it changed it from an Airbnb to a child soldier camp and a diamond mine. It transitions so easily.
Now we have to pitch it to HBO Go.
Yes,
we're
you
good
get
to
it.
go. Yeah,
JC,
man.
You get it.
So in a world.
Let me ask you, JC, as a director, man, what is it like working with comedians? Because we are, as you can see, like imagine me and Miguel on set. How do you corral this? How do you get us
more craft service?
You know, the interesting thing is it's not about corralling it. It's literally about finding the common thread of what we're both trying to do, and then be able to allow that freedom to exist. And just know that there's a respect that when it's, hey, we're looking at this for the common best case scenario. So I know you're going to put all of yourself into it, and I'm going to wrangle that in a place where I know it's going to resonate with the audience.
Okay, great answer. I like that because I'm going to tell you, Miguel Colon Jr. is one of the funniest people I've ever met in my entire life, off the cuff. He just comes up with stuff. But if you say, hey, Miguel, do whatever you want, you have literally pulled a grenade pin.
So it's interesting because although Jesse isn't here right now, we were doing a scene about a sandwich because we were trying to figure out a reason for Jesse to be doing something when the actors came in. So we ended up coming up with this gag with a sandwich. But then I was like, all right, Jesse, I want you to have some fun. Why don't you sing to the sandwich? So he came up with this whole thing. And by the end of it, everyone was thinking about it and singing it. And then he did a prayer to the sandwich at the end of it.
Oh, that's MAGA. Oh, that's MAGA. Yeah.
It was so...
Dear
that's
Heavenly White Father, would you bless this white bread?
Hold
and,
on, this is my favorite. So
I'm
I'm a vegan, and this is literally what stuck with me is in the prayer. May your vegetables do whatever the hell vegetables do.
Okay.
I love that JC allowed the actors to improv. It was great. I mean, we had a script and we stuck with it for the most part, but there was plenty of opportunity for them to try. And, you know, we weren't,
moments.
I wasn't forcing everybody to stay on script. Yeah.
I absolutely love that, because I think that's the best way to do it. Like all the comedies that I watch, and I'm watching the bloopers afterwards and the behind the scenes, they'll do multiple takes with comedians, just letting them riff, just letting them find a space where everybody feels comfortable, and they get the best results that way. So I love the fact, JC, you gave them room to breathe, man. You just let them do their thing.
Well, and it's interesting because, you know, the synchronicity of Patti and I meeting on her end was her journey trying to find the right person to tell the story. For me, she was the exact representation of why I left Hollywood.
Okay.
I was working on The Walking Dead, and then I worked on a couple other shows.
Indie film, in case you guys don't know that one.
Yeah. The small little project.
Yeah.
I think I heard of that. Yeah.
And it was one of those things where I was getting into the world and I was seeing that, you know, there's a lot of, we'll just say, not the most positive ripple effect content out there.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, I think I can do better. I think there's something else there. And when they told me that I couldn't have a family doing this, I was like, you know, I'm sorry, but screw you. This is not how this is going to go. So when my wife's mother was passing away in Mount Dora, where she grew up,
God bless,
where Patti is from, we ended up deciding to stay here and create a film studio called Chill Baby Productions, where we tried to create content that had more of a positive ripple effect. You know, sex, drugs, and violence, they're part of life, but they don't need to be the focus of literally every friggin' show and movie. So we have a responsibility as filmmakers to say, what reality are we creating? So when we do that, you know, I'm looking for things that both are entertaining. And then for me, it's always been about the sitcom with the morals and the values. Full House.
The throwback.
Exactly. You know, like you took something from it. And that was the most important part. And when Patti, when I was connected with Patti, and this was literally about heart, it was about people who normally would not connect with each other because the world's already like that. So we need a safe space for people to watch and realize that it's a load of bullshit, that we don't need to actually do anything. We can just be ourselves.
I like that. Now, you talked about the fact that you said in Hollywood, people were telling you that you could not have a family and be in entertainment. And it reminds me of what my friend here, Miguel, would tell my family every time we go do a road trip. Miguel, tell them what you told my children about me and my relationship with them.
I would gather his children around every time me and James went on the road. And they, at the time, they were like 10, 12 years old. And I would let them know, 4 boys, that they were holding their father back. And that if their father was just willing to walk away from them and stay on the road with me, we would have an amazing life. But he was a coward and he wasn't willing to go all in. And so because of that, I will be returning your father in a week to this, to all this, so that he could serve Dunkaroos to you in a lunchbox.
Dunkaroos, nice.
And his dreams can just be thrown on the floor where they never mattered. And I would look them dead in the eyes, and I would be like, none of you are ever going to give him what the road could give him.
You tell him, good luck, kids.
I'd be like, hey, if I tell him, Daddy, I tell him, man, James, one day just walk out the house with a backpack and your hat on and be like, hey, guys, Daddy's heading to the top. Look for me if you ever end up there. You know, I'm out.
And you know
Hollywood,
what's funny?
Hollywood,
It's funny because the reality is now it is a family endeavor. My kid is Chill Baby. That's why we built this. When he was born, everyone was like, man, you have such a chill baby. He and my wife and I co-create our stuff together. We literally have a film that just came out on Amazon on streaming and DVD and Blu-ray called Bears the Hunt, where we turned Mount Dora into Beartopia and hunted humans.
Okay. I like that a lot, man.
My acting debut. My acting
debut was in there.
Yeah.
Hollywood, you guys got to check it out.
Hollywood told you, man, you can't have kids, bro. You can't have kids full time. That's what we got the island for. You know? You know?
Okay, so Patty, getting back to the actual story itself,
Okay.
tell me about each of the characters. Like, first off, like, you loosely based on you. So you're, let's say,
Correct.
the person that's running the Airbnb. Tell me.
Right. So that's
what?
Hope. That's
Uh-huh.
Hope. Yeah. So
Yes,
she's,
absolutely.
in her 40, like 40s. She, lost her husband who was her cultural anthropology professor. Actually, let me start off. Every episode has a cultural anthropology theme
Okay.
that is introduced by the professor. So the first episode is called Finding Shelter because she's
Okay.
moving to Florida and she's fine. So there's all these things that riff on that theme, finding shelter. So then the next episode will be Discovery of Fire. And so there'll be, the interplay of, sex and stuff with fire, so every episode is introduced by her professor that she ends up marrying. So there's that for
Okay.
Hope and the professor.
I
And
like
then,
that.
yeah, it makes
'Cause
it kind of fun because you
I-
can
what-
do all kinds of fun things with it,
And I love that because some of the most popular sitcoms I'm thinking of all had a common thread. You knew what to expect going into the episode because there was a common thing that was there, and
Right.
people like familiarity. They like
Right.
that, so I love that already.
And so that's the Hope, and then the professor character shows up in memory sequences. But I don't know, he
Okay.
might be a ghost at some point. That's another suggestion from
Yeah,
Miguel.
hey, I think it ghost.
Starts
That's how you.
haunting.
Bro,
the
listen,
Airbnb.
man. I know what the people want. Controversy, okay?
I like
Yeah.
it.
They want a little heat. They want a ghost. And Patty's character is a ghost hunter. Nobody realized this Airbnb was built over a Native American burial ground.
Yeah.
So what we realized is the whole time, Patty's actually been in a coma. And none of this is real.
Love
And
it.
Dan's dead.
Yeah.
So shout out to Roseanne there.
That's true. At the end, that would be so funny if at the end it's just none of it was real, right?
None of it was
Very
real.
good. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Well,
none
so then-
of
okay,
it,
so
none
then-
of it's been real.
The
Yeah.
house that she goes to is her aunt's house, her favorite aunt from when she's young. She hasn't been
okay.
she hasn't been there in years. So, and she's a very hedonistic, sort of
Mhm.
amoral. She's traveling all around the world.
Mr.
and-
Crowley
in the
sex
villages.
magic.
Right. So
She's
she's
into that. Yeah.
very different from Hope, who's pretty reserved and sort of like, aghast. So
And Polly did a great job.
and then Polly is the Jamaican neighbor.
Okay.
And she is, I guess, if there is a stereotypical Jamaican, very strict, very straight, and very strict, but funny.
Yeah.
She sort of says things that are off. Like she has,
'Cause
they
they don't
dogs-
hold back.
they don't
I've
hold
had
back.
to-
No,
they don't hold
they
back.
don't
They
hold
tell you
back.
the truth
Yeah.
as they see it, and
Right.
if you can't take it, that's your problem.
But some of her like observations and little sayings are a little strange. Like no one, everybody's like, okay,
Yeah, I
So
know
that's
Dog
that.
Polly.
non-dance in the
Dog-
rain.
dog non-dance in the
And
wind.
then
Yeah.
she called
the
it
wind,
artillery.
yeah.
She called it artillery. Dogma dance in the wind. Dogma dance in the wind. Vector
Oh.
5. They're cooked.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's all it is, man. She was in the war.
That's
That's it.
exactly what it is. Now, don't go anywhere. When we get back, I want you to continue telling us about the different characters that make all this
I'll
work.
introduce the next one.
Okay, we'll be right back with more hilarity right here on Real Laughs, Real Radio 104.1. Back, everybody. You're still listening to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. I'm your host, Mr. James John. And I can't forget to tell you guys our official sponsor. That's right, Mr. Kaufman and Lynn. They are your personal injury attorneys. They've been representing and winning for the good people of Orlando for over 20 years. Jeff Kaufman couldn't be here today, but you know him and love him. He is not only a lawyer, he's a comedian and also a comic book creator. So don't forget, Kaufman and Lynn. If you guys want more information, go to whenyouneedus.com. Now we're in virtual studio with my good friend Miguel Colon Jr. Don't forget that because he knows who his daddy is. We also got JC, Patti Hope, and Jesse Chudeusz. I'm saying that wrong. Jesse, how do you say your last name, brother? Like that. Okay, perfect.
It's pronounced. It's pronounced sha-la-la-la-la-la, my oh my.
Bye. You want to kiss a girl.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Okay, so we're actually talking to Patti Hope about her creation. She wrote a sitcom, that's right. And we're talking about sitcoms. And Miguel, we want to talk about some of the ones that inspired us growing up, man, because that's how I grew up. That was my babysitter. I didn't have a physical person. It was a TV.
And we've watched the way sitcoms are created and the way they're distributed and the themes of them change drastically. I think the 70s and the 80s are the golden era of sitcoms.
Agreed.
Definitely like the late 70s and then 80s. The 90s have some great, but I do personally feel one of the things that changed the sitcom role, and one of my favorite sitcoms that really changed it, was shows like Malcolm in the Middle, when they went to the single camera, no laugh track format, and it was more of a cinematic thing. And one of my favorite sitcoms is Malcolm in the Middle. One of the reasons I love Malcolm in the Middle is the way the children in the sitcom were written was the first time children were written as real characters. They weren't just there to push a story forward for the adults. Malcolm is a genius, but he's super insecure. He's got a crazy ego. He sabotages himself. Reese is a psycho, but they don't portray him as, oh, Reese needs help. No, he's just a boy. He's just a boy. And that's one of the things they did with all the boys. Dewey, the youngest son before Jamie shows up, Dewey, he evolves around the rest of the brothers by becoming the one who thinks and watches, and he's more psychological in his attacks. And what I really loved about that sitcom was the family was poor, and it wasn't just like a write-off. A lot of sitcoms will have poor families, but here's the deal. Roseanne was poor. That house was huge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That house was huge.
Yeah.
Malcolm in the Middle, the boys, the three of them slept in one bedroom.
Yeah.
Two of them shared a bed and one slept in a bed next to him. And the house was lived in. If you watch older sitcoms too, you'll see that a lot. When you watch older sitcoms, you'll see where it's not like that. A lot of older sitcoms, the houses, the Full House, that's at that time, that's a mansion. Yeah. That's a mansion, and it's never lived in. There's not stuff everywhere. There's not, everything. And so I think shows like Malcolm in the Middle, Scrubs was an amazing one. Everybody Hates Chris. These shows, these single camera like style format sitcoms, though, one of the things I liked is they created worlds that things mattered. And Everybody Hates Chris and Malcolm in the Middle and Scrubs, if something happened in one episode, it could very well affect the rest of the season or seasons later on. And I always
that's something
thought
that came later in sitcoms.
That came later in sitcoms.
Everything was self-contained in an episode.
Because you think about, like, they'd be like a very special episode, and we'd never talk about how Webster almost got kidnapped again. But it would never come up. It would never come up, man.
I will tell you, Miguel, there's a sitcom that I think changed everything, turned sitcoms on their ear, and because it depicted family a way that we'd never seen them on a sitcom. Married with Children. Married with Children.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yes. Yeah. It for the first time, we saw a dysfunctional family that did not look like anything we had seen before. It did not look like the Danny Trainer that we saw on Full House. It was completely different. The husband and wife did not like one another. The kids were degenerates. Like Bud Bundy should have been arrested 8 times on like felony charges, but he was
like
right?
Grandmaster B,
in real life.
Grandmaster B, okay.
Grandmaster B.
Right. There was no big like happy moment.
He actually put an album.
They all, loved each other. There was none of that.
Yes, he did.
He actually put an album out.
He definitely put an album out. Yeah.
Yeah.
David Faustino, everybody, get that album.
Yeah.
Check it out. 16 tracks of fire. A lot of times people ask me, it's hard for me because when it comes to hip hop albums, sometimes I'm like, is it 36 Chambers? Is it Dark and Hell is Hot? Is it The Chronic, or is it Grandmaster B, David Faustino's album?
It's a toss-up.
It's so hard. It's 16 tracks of fire. I mean, it's difficult. A lot of people give Eminem and the Beastie Boys white rapper credit or Mac Miller, but David Faustino, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, man. And just saying, man, just pursue your dreams, even if nobody wants it.
I just thought of something horrible, too. The things that they got away with on Married with Children, you couldn't do today.
Oh, no.
Remember when Bud had an affair with the neighbor?
Yeah, he beat them.
He was
guts,
like
man.
He was like under 18. Like
how about when Kelly would come into a room and she was 16 years old and the crowd would go, woo!
Oh yeah,
that's a baby.
That's
a goddamn baby. Everybody, we're not supposed to do this.
Oh my god,
no, I forgot.
Oh, dude, her boyfriends were always in their 20s.
Yeah,
always in their 20s.
Yes.
That's why Al had to tune them up all the time. Hey, handling things. Yeah, all the time, man. Handling things Bundy style meant you beat somebody up. That's something I loved about the Bundys, man. The Bundys were down to throw down, man.
Yeah, because I would also say, let's rock, right? Let's rock.
Let's rock. Yeah, beat the hell out of them. That's one thing. I've got an idea, too. I'm going to ask you guys a question. if you had to put a Mount Rushmore of the 5 TV dads that could whoop the most ass.
Oh wow.
Who, and I've got mine. I'll tell you my TV dad gauntlet. All right. Starting with low end of the gauntlet, TV dad that could. We'll go 4 and make it quick for everybody. Low end of the gauntlet, TV dads that could whoop a little ass.
I got mine.
Number 4, Al Bundy. He could throw down, but we're gonna get up. We're gonna get up to some higher level dads. Al Bundy could whoop ass. We've seen it in action. He's not afraid to use a baseball bat. He'll beat up anybody. Al Bundy, number 4. And this one's gonna be a little controversial because he's bigger than everybody else, but I still don't think he would whoop him enough ass. Number 3, Julius from Everybody Hates Chris. He's bigger than everybody and stronger, but I don't think he could whoop more ass than the next 2. So Julius, Everybody Hates Chris.
I got mine.
Number 2, Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil could dominate you in a fight.
Yeah.
Uncle Phil could dominate you in a fight. He's big, he's strong, he's smart, he's classy. Uncle Phil, out of all of them, he's actually got the highest all-around stats.
Yeah,
but
mess you up.
number 1 ass whooper,
it's gonna be mine.
Dan from Roseanne, bro.
Nope.
Dan, oh my, Dan. First
Dan
of all,
already handled it. Dan handled it.
Dan handles it. He has willingful sex with Roseanne. He's not scared of anything. Okay? My man ain't afraid of nothing. Uncle Phil had beautiful Aunt Viv. Al Bundy had Peggy. Julius, I can't remember what Tisha Arnold's name was, but Julius had her. They all had these beautiful wives. But Dan, he beat Roseanne's guts up at least 3 times.
Oh, God.
Don't forget, Dan also beat up Roseanne's sister's boyfriend that was beating her up.
When Jackie was getting tuned up, he went over there and handled up. Who you got, James? Who's your TV dad 4 gauntlet?
I love Dan. Dan's a great answer. He's number 2 on my list. Dan did handle his business. But the number 1 dad that would whoop your ass and his child's ass, the only, James Evans from Good Times. Bro,
James.
James Evans.
You think James and Dan? You think James and Dan? You think James and Dan going toe to toe? James is coming out on top. Yes. Oh man, I think James got the heart, but he's out of the weight class. James is out of the weight class.
Have you seen James Evans and Conan? That was James Evans. Remember that?
Yeah, man.
You got to throw Carl Winslow in the mix. He's got a gun.
Carl Winslow, he was at Diddy parties, living his best life. Yeah. Carl Winslow is one of the softest TV dads. He's a great character, he's one of the softest TV dads. Carl Winslow would be like, now Eddie. Hey, every now and then they had to pretend like these sons weren't jacked up. The boys was finding steroids because Eddie Winslow, Eddie Winslow tear your ass up. Mm-hmm. Eddie Winslow that's like the year that Zach found steroids, and I was looking at him and Slater, and I was like, hey man, Kelly ain't got no chance.
Yeah, but I will tell you, man, I love the fact that you wrote a sitcom, Patty. Here's why: because sitcoms raised me. Honestly, like I was a latchkey kid. That's what we did. We would go home and we would watch TV. And I remember there was some pivotal moments in some of the best sitcoms in my life. Like I love The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and I love Martin. But that one episode, because I grew up just like Will, my dad was not in my life. So that one episode where Will's dad's supposed to come take him away and then makes up an excuse, and then Will's crying, he's yelling, he's venting, and why don't my dad want me? If I see that clip today, I'm tearing up and crying like a baby.
Yeah, and I'm like, Will, you sitting there crying, why doesn't my dad want me? Maybe because you a crybaby. Maybe he cut his losses.
Oh my God. So sitcoms play an important part in my growing up. And I hate the fact that nowadays they're kind of going away, but they're finding new homes in different ways. Like they're going to streaming now, which I love because I used to sit around with my whole family back in the day.
TGIF, baby.
Yes,
every Friday.
Yes, bro, the
every
whole
Friday.
Family. And watch it, man. So I love what you guys have put together. I'm a fan of both you, Patty and Jesse, man. JC, just getting to know you. But if you're involved with this crew, I know it's going to be nothing but great. Please tell us again, when is the actual screening in Mount Dora and where can people find out more about it and where can they get tickets, Patty?
So Yeah, you can go to my website, pattihope.com, Patti with an I, and you can get all the information about the summary of the episode, the sitcom and the characters, as well as the link for the tickets. It's going to be screened, the pilot episode called Finding Shelter for Here's Hope, on Thursday, the 18th, this Thursday at 6:45 at the Mount Dora Community Center Music Hall.
Okay.
And so there'll be a lot of fun. We're going to have a red carpet. We're going to have VIP experience.
Nice.
Step and repeat. You can get your photo ops with all the characters, and so we're going to make it. We're going to make it a lot of fun.
And where can people go to find? They go to your website to get.
They go to my
well?
website. It's all there. Tickets, everything. Yep.
Gotcha. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. And I want everybody out there who's listening right now, please go out and support this project. It sounds like a ton of fun just to see Jesse as a MAGA. Worth twice the admission just to see that, man. If you sing to a sandwich as a fat dude, that gives me hope. That really does.
It was so much fun. So much fun.
I sing to my food all the time. That's how me and Miguel met. But anyway, I want you guys to definitely check it out. Before we go real quick, where can everybody find you guys and follow you on social media? Patti, we'll start with you.
Well, yeah, it's on my website, pattihope.com, and I'm at Patti for Hope on Facebook and all the Insta and YouTube.
Gotcha. And JC, where can they find you? Chill Baby Productions, all that great stuff.
Yeah, so chillbabyproductions.com has all the projects we're working on, and we're all focused in Mount Dora. And also JC Conklin _director is my Instagram, and we're constantly putting behind the scenes stuff there too.
Little BTS never hurt. And Jesse, of course, how can they follow you, brother?
Oh man, you can catch all of my stuff on jessegotjokes.com and Jesse Got Jokes across all social media.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us today. Miguel, before I go, man, I just want to say congratulations. You just did a show with David Jolly at the Orlando Funny Bone. You've been on tour with him. Of course, everybody knows David from Kill Tony. He's been doing well on his own. You guys have been touring and doing a great job. I missed your show, but I want you to tell people where the next one in Central Florida will be so they can come out and support you, brother.
I'm going to be in Denver, Colorado, the Denver Improv all this week. And then I get back on Friday. And Friday I'll be at Secrets Hideaway, show hosted by Kevin Dean. So that'll be a fun time. So Friday will be the first time, that I'll be in town.
Very, very nice, people. I'm going to be at Snappers in Palm Harbor this weekend, people. That's where I'll be. If you guys want to follow me, go to my social media. I can give you guys a link to the social media where you can get tickets and all that good stuff like that. Thank you, as always, for listening. This is Real Laughs. On behalf of myself, Mr. Miguel Colon, don't you forget the Junior. He knows who his daddy is, Jesse, JC, and Patti. Thank you guys for listening. But Miguel, tell them what they need to do right now.
Take your ass to bed.
We out.